Tall Tales Podcast. My name is James.
And my name is Marlon.
And we upload on Spotify and on YouTube on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So please come check us out. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So Marlon, I think you have a topic for us today.
I do. I have a question for you. What do you think about the dating scene in 2025? As far as, do you think that there are actually people out there who are looking for a serious, committed relationship?
Yeah, I believe those people do exist. They're out there. I think they may be hard to find. A lot of people out here in situations where they're really not looking for that, but they'll be willing to lead someone on to make them think that to actually get what they want.
Hold on, but to what end? Not to cut you off, but to what end? What is the reason for that?
Well, they might just be looking for a hookup. They might just be looking for someone to hang out with, so they're not at home by themselves on a Saturday night. Free meal. All these things are things we have seen. I mean, probably in dating going way back, but at the same time, it seems like it's more prevalent now, or we're just hearing more about it from social media. And I think social media is a part of it as well. Like, we're more self-centered now. It seems like we're always constantly posting pictures of ourselves. Sometimes I look at a selfie and I'm like, that's kind of narcissistic, you posting a picture of yourself, but I get that's just how social media works. But at the same time, I think that with our instant gratification that we have now, we can push a button on a cell phone and have something delivered to our house within an hour or less, and anything we want, really. I think it's kind of diluted the dating pool and has kind of made it to where there's a lot of people out here just self-centered and selfish.
I can see that. I can most definitely see that. So let's just say, percentage-wise, how many people do you think are, percentage speaking, are wanting a relationship out of 100?
Ooh, that's a good one. I believe that also goes by demographic. I think age-wise has something to do with it. But if we're just taking age out of it, I think probably 40% are looking for something kind of serious.
So 40% of people are actually looking for a relationship, while 60% are just playing games?
Yeah, I would say so. Like I said, not an exact number, and I think it differs whenever you get to certain age ranges. Whenever we're in our 20s, you may just want somebody to kind of hang out with and have fun with. You get a little bit older into your 30s and your 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s and whoever, is beyond that dating. I think you're looking more for that.
I don't think anybody's beyond that. I don't think anybody's beyond that dating, to be honest with you. So what you're saying is
you'd be surprised.
Sure, true. So what you're saying is, and I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say that when you get older, you get more serious and you stop playing less games. So
usually it doesn't always happen, but usually you would think so.
By that definition, so you're saying a woman in her 40s is more likely to be serious about looking for a committed relationship.
That may not be the case. It depends on the person, but you would think most people at that point are looking more towards longevity when it comes to a relationship. But you do have these women who are gotten out of a divorce and they're just ready to kind of, have fun and party and whatnot. So they might not be looking for anything serious. Some of their children may be fully grown at this point. So they're having a second chance of life, so to speak. So it just depends on whatever that person's situation is.
Okay. So where do you find these women looking for a good committed relationship?
I was wishing you could tell me, Marlon.
I mean, they say always you can find a good woman at church.
Yeah, you can. You can. There's good women out here. They are out here, but the thing is, are you going to be able to apply that pressure to go and meet them, go up and speak to them, go and talk to them? Because like I said, I've talked to some people that are younger than me, and they've never even went up to a girl before and asked for a number. Now, when I was growing up, I remember asking somebody, huh?
That was the only way you could do it.
Only way you can do it. I remember going up and asking somebody for their number and asking if your friend has a pen so you can write it on your hand or your arm so you can, get it on a piece of paper a little bit later. But that takes a lot of guts. But now with social media and this digital world, you can just DM them. You try to go in the back way if you don't, excuse my terms there, but you're not up front. You're like, I'm going to send a message to see what's going on. Or let me see if I can follow him.
It removes the fear.
Removes
Absolutely.
the fear. But I think that fear is good. The fear builds character. You're going to go out in this real world and have to interview for jobs. You're going to have to meet new people at some point in your life. And having that nervousness, is good for you. It's good for you to learn those skills, how to communicate. Because, you can go in and slide in a DM and not have anything to say, really, except besides hi. So I just think, like, with nowadays, and it's so easy whenever somebody is able to slide in DM, because that's something you really don't have any control over. So this person may be getting multiple messages from multiple people because they're in the dating scene. And a lot of times you don't see that one-on-one interaction. It's like you might be one of 5, one of 10, one of 15. And you're all vying for time with this one person who has all these suitors lined up for her.
So then, in your experience, what makes a man stand out amongst these suitors?
I don't really, tell you the truth. I'm on the thinking that if a girl likes you, they like you. You're not going to have to try really hard to do anything because they like you. Like I've always heard, you can have a man that has a mansion and a palace and 2 houses, but if she don't like him, she don't like him. And you can be, on one of your friends' couches for a couple of weeks or whatnot, years and whatnot. But if she likes you, she's going to be able to hang in there with you and, possibly even help you out. I think it's more of a chemistry thing than trying to stand out. I know if you get on apps, that you do have to fill out a profile and a bio and everything like that. But even then, I think if that chemistry is there, if that person likes you and is attracted to you in that way, then I think there's not going to be a whole bunch of fluff when it comes to what you need to do to stand out.
I can respect that. Most definitely. So you're saying go to church, go to Publix, the fruit section, the produce section?
Any section. I mean, they're out here. I mean, you can go to concerts. You can go to libraries, which I know people are like the library.
Pull up on a woman in a concert.
You can. You ain't never done that?
No.
You never tried to strike up a conversation with a woman at a concert?
No. I've only been to like 3 concerts in my life.
Okay, well, that's the thing. You got a small sample size. If you go to more of these events like that, you see somebody walk by who's attractive and you want to go up and talk to them. Yeah, you can go apply that pressure, see what the vibe is. But like I said, we do live in a world where we'd rather just sit back here and try to see if we can find them on Facebook and slide them a DM and say, hey, do you like me?
It's so much easier.
It's easier, but that is, to me, and I hate to say this, to me, that's the coward's way out. Like, it takes so much more effort to be upfront and bold. And I think sometimes confidence is a huge thing. Like if you're confident enough to walk up to somebody and say, hey, I like you, or can I get your number, or strike up a conversation, and it doesn't work out. Hey, it just doesn't work out. But you do
women
have
love
that experience.
confidence. That's for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think having that in your toolkit is one way that maybe you can, make yourself stand out to these suitors. And you got to realize too, if somebody is juggling multiple people, it may not be just because they want to see what's out there. It can be just because they're waiting on the one person that they want to respond, and you're just filling the time void.
That's a bad way of looking at things.
It's reality. I mean, it's reality. If you look at some of these stories that we see, I mean, you can find them on Reddit. You can just talk to your friends in general. I've heard people saying that, hey, I actually went out with this person, went to dinner with them, and they ghosted me. or we had a great conversation for 2 days and all of a sudden nothing. So it's like, did they go back to their ex? Did the person that they want originally actually make a play? These things just happen. It's not looking at it from a negative perspective. It's just a reality. You know, we talk about on the show about real things, and that is the reality of the situation that we're dealing with dating in 2025.
You know, one of the sad things, I'm sure there's multiple pages of them, but there are pages on Facebook called Are We Dating the Same Guy? That's messed up.
Well, you got to realize some people don't believe in dating just one person at once. They want to see, you know, basically what's all out there. To me, if you're dating multiple people, that's that's your business.
I mean, I think that's, I mean, unless the two individuals talk and say, hey, this is what we're doing, which they're not going to do, more than likely. No. But if you're talking to one person, you need to concentrate on that one person. Just talk to them. Don't have anybody else in your repertoire. That's just my personal opinion.
I agree, and not string it along. I mean, if there's no chemistry there, you're not feeling it, just upright tell that person, hey, appreciate whatever we did or whatnot, but I don't think we're going to work out. And then, you know, you have a clean break and both people know what the situation is. They can go on their merry way, you know, or, you know, do what they want to do. But a lot of times it's easier, like you said, to ghost somebody and just not talk to them anymore.
Yeah, that's the world we live in, most definitely.
Yeah. So it's even with the blocking thing, like we talked about earlier. There are some people who get out here.
I think that.
Yeah, it is a little bit deeper, but we do see where sometimes there's I've heard of it. Sometimes there's a date or two that goes on, and you know, you might think it's going really well, and then all of a sudden, if you got an iPhone, that message goes to green, so you know what happened.
What does that mean? I'm an Android user.
I'm sorry. If you're usually texting someone iPhone to iPhone, the messages come back blue. Okay. And on Android, it does show up green. But if they have typically had an iPhone, once it shows up green, there's a slim chance that they were just out of range or roaming or whatnot. But most of the time, that's how you know when you're blocked.
So that to me doesn't make sense. When, let's just say if you've dated somebody a couple times and they block you, unless there are exigent circumstances, why not just send a hint? You know, I mean,
why not just be upfront?
No, yeah, but that still takes a little bit more. That still takes a little bit more. But I feel as though after a couple messages have gone unreturned, they should get the hint. I agree, say a maximum number of 2 to 3 messages. If they haven't responded to 3 messages,
But why would you even do that? Like, if a person was nice enough to take you out on a date, and we know how you feel about first dates and you typically paying for the first date or whatnot, why couldn't you just tell that person, hey, not interested, this isn't going the way I want it to, thank you for everything and good luck on your dating journey?
Well, I wouldn't be slighted at all. If I went out with someone, I took someone out, we went out on a date, and I got the hint that she wasn't interested, no harm, no foul. That's fine. Not everybody's going to be, you know, clicking together like Legos.
No, that's not what I mean at all. I mean, like, having that courage just to tell that person, like, instead of having them reaching out and then you don't reach out back or you block. Like, we're adults. I mean, I think that's easy enough to sit up here and tell somebody that, hey, I'm not interested. And I get you don't want to hurt people's feelings and
Absolutely.
whatnot.
And there are people who avoid confrontation.
Right. Which, hey, if you're avoiding confrontation, I don't know how you're going to be in a long-term relationship, because you're going to have some confrontations.
No, but this is confrontation with strangers. You know,
agree.
Me personally, I hate small talk. I loathe small talk. So I can understand why someone would, you know, just go unresponsive if they weren't interested.
So you would do that? You would, if a female was talking to you and you just weren't interested, you just wouldn't answer her messages anymore?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I've done that before. I have.
Okay. Hey, it's your
So
life.
so I can understand, and I mean, and they get the hint. They get the
Yeah,
hint.
I just think being an adult, you can at least say, "Hey,
This has nothing to do with being an adult.
It does.
No, it does not.
It
No,
does.
it does not. Just because you don't feel like dealing with somebody does not make you a child or immature. You don't owe
can't
anyone
act childish.
you don't owe anyone anything. This is your life. Live it how you see fit. They don't pay your bill. They don't put money on your credit card. This is your life. So I don't see anything wrong with someone ghosting somebody. Not at all.
boy, we are on two different sides of the spectrum there,
It is what it is.
as usual."
It is what it is.
Yeah. So, but you got anything else for us, Marlon?
No. I think that's it.
All right, great discussion, man. Like I said, we are usually on two different sides of the coin here.
I'll
so
say it
we
again.
have,
There's nothing wrong with ghosting someone.
there is
That's all I gotta say. There's
there
absolutely
is
nothing
infinity.
wrong. No. All right. Well, do you have anything else?
No,
You good?
great.
All right. Well, remember we upload to Spotify and YouTube on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. This is Trash Talk and Tall Tales. My name is Marlon.
And I'm James.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.